Alright, so this video is going to briefly review the article How Personal Factors Influence Academic Behavior and GPA in African American STEM Students. Within the introduction, the authors mention how the United States has often been viewed as a leading force in technological advancement and scientific innovation. They claim, however, that this may soon change with the low number of post-secondary degrees being awarded to students in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, commonly known as STEM. The authors worry that we as a nation may be at risk for stagnation if we are unable to supply an adequate number of qualified individuals to fuel the innovative drive of the nation. The low number of minority students awarded STEM degrees and jobs is identified as a problem, further compounding the issue. Several researchers have addressed external and internal goal-related factors that lead to student attrition from STEM, such as students' demographic characteristics, pre-college academic preparation, types of institution enrolled, the STEM course taking, and performance of the student. But the authors note how few researchers have explored personal factors that influence academic behavior and subsequently achievement. Personal factors that influence academic behavior are called PIABs, or noncognitive factors. As a result, the current study aimed to expand the current literature by developing a model to assess the influence of PIABs on student success. So the study proposes a new theoretical model to guide the development of academic interventions targeted at improving retention and academic success for African American STEM students. The theoretical model suggests that students' time perspective, grit, emotional regulation, and mindfulness comprise the core PIABs. So the study was conducted in two phases with two different populations. Phase 1 served as a pilot to clarify the emotional regulation and academic components of the PIABs model through the integration of time perspective, grit, emotional regulation, and the components of mindfulness. While the second phase was aimed at exploring the nature of these factors, how they interrelate, and whether they can predict academic success as measured by GPA. So there were several hypotheses associated with each study. So for study 1, hypothesis 1 investigated whether time perspective, emotional regulation, and grit can be predicted by mindfulness. Study 2 aimed at exploring the nature of these factors and how they interrelate. So some of these hypotheses include, can PIABs predict GPA? Is time perspective correlated with GPA? Is emotional regulation ability correlated with GPA? Is mindfulness correlated with GPA? Is grit correlated with GPA? And is engagement and adaptive academic behaviors correlated with GPA? So the authors state that the results from the initial regression analysis suggested that time perspective, emotional regulation, and mindfulness can predict GPA. However, this could not be accurately tested due to the presence of several latent factors that influence the analysis. The structural equation modeling analysis attempted to explore the nature of these relationships, but due to poor model fit, this was not clarified. The authors suggest that through the impact on GPA, African American students at this HBCU may not matriculate through college if they do not possess the ability to regulate strong and self-defeating emotions or thoughts or use adaptive study and work techniques. Although the researchers did encounter problems with model fit in this study, they recommended that more exploration of this finding is warranted. The authors state many reasons to explain low model fit. So for one, there was a relatively small sample sizes for the studies for the amount of variables that were studied. There were 20 variables that were included in the factor analysis of the model, so they may have limited statistical power necessary to accurately explore the relationship between each factor. In addition, participants were asked to complete the questionnaire battery, which included approximately 260 individual items. Furthermore, there are multiple data points missing when students did not complete the entire survey. So in conclusion, though, despite low model fit and small sample size, the results of the study suggest that future analysis of students' PIABs may be beneficial for the development of programs which aim to improve the academic success and retention in STEM majors.